everybody that works with me now, I've, worked with at least for a couple of years. So they've really got to see how I work and understand how I work and vice versa. Yeah. And everyone's a perfect fit now. Good. And that's, that I think is something really important because I've been lucky to kind of, move to be a supervising location manager when we have location managers in different parts of the country or other countries, and we have to kind of run around and make sure everything is right as we make these little pit stops along the way.
Yeah, what you do here will affect what happens in another state or another country.
That's right. And the last couple shows, I've been a production supervisor on, so I've carved out this little niche for myself where I can still handle the scouting. Yeah. Try to have the creative eye to, I don't say help dictate because there's a lot of opinions involved when you select locations, as you know, and if you've seen, multiple visits to the same place. How many times are these guys going to come back?
Oh my gosh, we just that one that we worked on. Wow, we were there a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were at the old AT&T building 25 times before we ended up going to contract. It was like, okay,
all right, we figured it all out. Okay, great. Yeah.
We know we're shooting here, right?
Well, we had a couple different directors too.
Yep.
Yeah, it is an interesting aspect of the job where you do have teams. Technology pushes a lot of things quicker. I've noticed that things shoot a lot faster than they used to. Where do you feel the industry is going to be 5 years from now, just with technology as well as, I guess, lack of a better words, the streaming wars that are going on? Huge companies are buying huge companies for content and are throwing money at content. And is that a good thing, or is that not?
Well, that's a really great question. I think that as long as the content gets better and more people are able to see what's out there, I think it's a good thing. But, we have to be careful, with monopolies happening because as long as it's content of, fiction, nonfiction television, or how people are able to see movies and it's not the media, right, where we're just getting one side of the story, pumped to us through the news, I think it's a good thing. Yeah. And as far as 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I don't know, maybe we're just doing this, whoop, I'll watch this show in the air.
I don't think there'll be scheduled programming anymore. I really think it's going to be, you watch what you want to watch when you want to watch it, and the content's there. And
I think people will still have TVs. I just think they're being used less. I just don't think it's a thing as much anymore where you have to sit down and do that. If anything, it's I plug my computer into my monitor, and it's just a monitor. It's not like a channel surfing type thing. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say how they might put that together because it's like I have YouTube TV, which is just an account that has shows on YouTube that you can watch anytime. So it's just what's the difference between that and television? Right?
Well, I guess it's no longer being dictated to you. You're in control of your content.
That's right.
So it really does push the industry to make something that you want to watch because now there's more competition than there's ever been. So even as companies buy out other companies and they get smaller, hopefully there'll still be enough external content out there where people can have a variety of shows and things that they like. So.
And you know what? As long as I can control my own viewing destiny,
that's all that matters anyway.
It's all I got left. It's all I can control. What I watch.
I control the one thing in my life. I can control my content. So, oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you? I guess obviously you're so busy. Do you even get a chance to even watch a lot of the shows that you've worked on?
I got to watch the first couple episodes of the morning show in post when they were cutting it together. Since it's been on Apple Plus, I got to watch about 10 minutes of the first episode while I'm trying to do 5 other things. It's I keep getting interrupted, and it's you just can't sit and finish.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice that you can actually hit pause and then come back to it, but it is interesting to certain shows that I'm I've seen 15 minutes of about 20 different shows. Eventually I'll get through the rest of that. Okay.
I know, it's it's been really tough because, it's you get, you have things going on with work, and then you have things going on with family, with the kids, and it's you don't really have time to just sit and and watch TV. At least I don't, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
So I am going to get through it though. I hear really good things about it, and I'd like to see the rest of what we did.
Good.
You know,
Yeah, I've heard really good reviews on it, and that's great. That actually helps to know that they're going to keep creating content, and we'll still be in business, and still be working, they'll still be calling, and we'll still have jobs.
That's right. That's right. As long as the check clears and we enjoy what we're doing, life is good.
Exactly. That's great. And I've noticed that the industry has picked up in certain ways. Commercials have been interesting in the way that they show their product. Doing it more inside TV and movies as their own internal commercial, because I know people are fast forwarding. Shows like, you know, that we worked on the morning show with Apple, Netflix, Hulu, you name it. Amazon. They're producing so much content now. It has been good, and it has reminded me of the late 90s when feature films were just, you couldn't walk down the street in downtown without seeing movie trucks. And so it has been nice to actually see that come back.
Yeah, especially in California.
Oh yeah,
because there was a dry spell for a while.
Yeah,
and you know, we've got some series for FX that we've been talking about possibly bringing back sooner because people are concerned about the writer's strike. And I think the writer's strike is one of those things that kind of, you know, pumped the brakes on filming in California for a little while.
It did.
The industry took a hit. A lot of shows left.
Well, I think that's the other part of that too. Is so. Potentially the 2020 strike between the writers and I forgot what the other one was, but a lot of it too is because if I'm a writer, I'm locked into your show. It's no longer 22 episodes. Now it's 10. Now it's 12. Maybe it's 13.
Yeah.
If I'm locked in, I can't write for another show. I'm only getting paid for 13 episodes as opposed to 22. Now you've directly impacted my livelihood. So, and then with other services now, because things are cheaper. Okay, well, who's going to pay for that? You know, it's like, oh, there's only so many subscriptions that are being paid.
That's right.
Okay, we got to pay people less, and the companies still want to make money and have an investment on their shareholders. So it's interesting to see how that all plays out and how that will affect negotiations when it comes to residuals. Now that everything's streaming, how many people are really watching? And in fact, you would think you would actually get more detail on exactly who's watching, because it's more direct. It's not just on the TV playing.
That's
you know,
right.
who's watching. It's like, no, you can tell what subscriber has seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to say it's interesting you bring up residuals, because from, you know, my friends who are writers in television, that's a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's watered down now.
Yeah.
By, you know, we're talking about the convenience of a viewer, of an audience, to be able to see things streaming, but you know, you don't make as much money, you know, from the writing side with stuff like that. So I think that's important to keep in mind with negotiations coming up and that type of thing, and you know, how it's going to affect TV. I am, you know, really pleased to see so much filming in California. You know, there was a couple years where, you know, I kind of left to work out of state a little bit for bigger opportunities, not necessarily, you know, just because there wasn't work here. But now that there's been such a boom, there's bigger opportunities here again. So it's nice to see that transition where it's like really come back, and we've been able to kind of hang on to it.